Hey guys, it's Nikki. I know it's been a while. It's been a hot minute, like a year long. Um, so I'm back from my year long hiatus. I know it's been a long time. But I want you to know that I'm back. If you see that the name of the channel has changed, it has. Um, and who knows, I might change it again. But right now, I'm gonna keep it as whatever that name is because who knows. But I wanted to come on here to give a life update before I started back posting because I've been working on a lot of content, and I want to come on here to kind of give you guys a life update on what's been going on with me, and why I stopped posting. So if you've been following the channel now, you guys know that I think in one of my testimonies I shared that I had lost my mom, but I lost my mom like 11 years ago. So I never really got to grieve in those 11 years, or I would say 10 years when she passed. Like, I remember, doing the memorial, I remember doing the funeral, but I remember in those moments, I remember praying and asking the Lord, like, just shield that pain. Like, I don't want to feel it. And the Lord indeed did that. Like, I was able to continue progressing with life, right? I just kept myself busy. I kept myself I kept myself busy. That's it. Like, I seriously, over the years, I kept myself busy working on my career, working on myself, serving the Lord. But I never dealt with my grief. Yes, there was times that I would think about her, I would miss her and whatever, but I never allowed myself to dwell on it for long, like to actually go through the grieving process. And last year, everything came at me all at once. Like, I remember one day, like it was last August, I believe. August is her birthday, so I started like thinking about her, and then like all the emotions, the fact that the reality started to set in, that my mother was no longer here, that I was never going to see her again in this lifetime. And yeah, so that's what happened. And then on top of that, like, I think my last post was like either like in April or something. I had got off a fast. I went on a 3-day fast in April or May. And after the fast, like, the Lord kind of like started to deal with me, and he showed me myself in the mirror, and I did not like, he showed me a reflection of myself in the mirror, and I did not like that reflection that I saw. And the reality again of that also hit me. And I remember, like, I had never felt like this before, because sometimes when I go on fast, like when I tell you the Lord really deals with me when I go on fast, sometimes I'm afraid to go on fast because every time I go on a fast, something life changing happened. And it's always like he reveals something to me. And I don't know, I have to say at the time, I needed to hear those things from him, about myself, because sometimes you think you're walking in the right way, and there's still things that you need to deal with. There are still things that you think that you've dealt with it, but when you ask the Lord to search your heart, oh Lord, and see if there's any wicked way in me, or you ask him to reveal things about yourself to you, and he does it. And that's what he did for me. And when I tell y'all, like, I didn't know how to deal with it, because I felt like I had failed, like I disappointed the Lord. And I'm not saying that I was sinning or anything. It's nothing like that. It's more of, it was more so like my character and like personal growth on. So the Lord was dealing with me on improving my character. And I guess at the time I was not ready, and it hit me hard. And I won't say I wasn't ready, because God would never reveal something to you unless you're ready to deal with it. And for the first time in my life, like, I had to face myself, and I didn't know how to do that. Um, I realized that like my emotional intelligence is like low, and that was a reality I had to face. And I knew that from a long time. Like, I'm the type of person, like, if I'm going through stuff, people will never know. Like, I keep everything bottled in. Like, I keep everything bottled up, and I just keep it moving, I keep it pushing. And for the first time in my life, I didn't know how to deal with all the emotions that I was feeling. Like, yes, I went before the Lord in prayer, but I also needed someone to talk to, like physically. And, the Lord led me to do therapy. I got into faith based Christian counseling, and that's how I was able to get through it. And, through that process of going through therapy, there was so much trauma. Like, as I was doing the work and, relying on the Lord, like, there was so much trauma that I buried as a child that I never dealt with. And all of that was what came last year. And it took me about a year to get through it. I'm still healing, I'm still going through the process, you know. But yeah, that's what happened. And I'm a firm believer of, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I know, I was sharing my story, my testimony on, how my relationship with the Lord. But at that time, like, I couldn't help anybody. Like, I isolated myself. I lost friends as a process of this, because I tend to isolate myself when I'm going through stuff. So I isolated myself from the world, from everyone, for that half of the year. So, I went through that, went through the process. And by the grace of God, I came out on the other side. And as I said again, I'm still healing and I'm still going through the process. Um, so yeah, that's where we are. And also, I relocated. I moved from North Carolina back to up east. I'm actually from New York City, but I moved to New Jersey. So I am happy to be closer to home, closer to my family. Um, and I'll talk more about all of that because I feel like there's like individual testimonies in itself. So I'm not really trying to go into much details, but just giving you guys like just a life update before I start back posting again. And what to expect with the channel, because I am not gonna just be posting videos on just my relationship with Christ. But thing about me that you guys don't know, I used to have my own business. I used to have my own hair care line. I had my own hair care line for 3 years. And in the process of going through all of that stuff, I ended up shutting down my business because, again, like, how can you serve other people and you're dealing with so much? And I honestly did not know how to work my 9 to 5, run a business, and then having almost a mental breakdown pretty much. So yeah, I ended up shutting down my business. Um, and I kind of like, when I was thinking about coming back to my channel, I'm like, well, Lord, I don't just want to do, my Christian videos. I want to do things. I want to do videos on things that I'm also passionate about. The gifts that you have given to me. Videos on my natural hair and how I take care of it as well. And then I'm also going to be doing health and wellness because. So I said that, I want to just come back and I want to just share other pieces of me, living for Christ, and how, Christ is in everything, even in my hair. Like, well, I'm going to share the testimony on how I got started on my natural hair, why I went natural, because all of that is also rooted in the Lord. Um, so, yeah. And like I said, I'm going to be doing health and wellness as well. That's something that I have taken an interest in the last maybe year as well. Just focusing on my health, my body. I gained so much weight, you guys. During this time, I think I put on like 20 pounds from dealing with, I was depressed as well, having a mental breakdown. I don't think it was a mental breakdown per se, but I was severely depressed. Um, while I was grieving, like going through the process and grieving so many, not just the loss of my mother, but so many relationships that I lost. I was grieving as well. And my coping mechanism was eating. So I put on like 20 pounds. So I want to share my journey as well because I am, I've changed my eating habits. Um, so yeah, I'm going to be sharing other parts of my life. Maybe I'll do like vlogs on how, you know, um, just life as a Christian, you know, um, working from home, just different pieces of my life I will be sharing on here. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be coming back on Instagram. If I do, I'll probably create a new page because I I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I might just create a new page if I do go back on Instagram. But right now, I really want to focus on this YouTube channel and just being consistent with everything. So I'm back, guys. I am back. Um, I'm gonna be doing like 2 videos a week. One is gonna always be a faith-based Christian video, and then the other one will probably be like health and wellness or my hair. Um, for those of you who have ever thought about natural hair, or if you're natural right now and you don't know how to take care of your hair, like I am very good at that. So I will be sharing, my tips and how I maintain my hair and all of that good stuff. So I hope this video provided you guys some insight into why I left. And yeah, so stay tuned. I will be posting my next video soon, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.